Hi Sagittarius, this is going to be your art channeled message. I channel messages through art, creativity. I really hope my messages inspire you to see the art within yourself, to be yourself, because we all start from zero, which is just a blank canvas. Please like the video, like, subscribe, whatever. Usually say that at the end too, but you know, it helps. And lastly, before we get started, like if you would like a personal, all of that is down below, whether it's channeled art or a tarot reading. And lastly, there's no rules here, so if this finds you, it's definitely meant for you. They're all timeless. You can binge watch them, share it, whatever. And like what's so special about my messages or my art is it like starts with one thing and then you keep going, and like it's like this connects to this, or all of it connects to form like one bigger thing. Usually my art style is like an optical illusion. You look once, see nothing, look again, and it's like, hold up. There's so much going on. That's how my messages are. Sometimes I speak in metaphors. Sometimes it's extremely direct, but there's always something there. It's like an art. Everything. What I started drawing for you is an arm with what looks like a boxing glove on it. I literally heard into the boxing ring. You're going to be going into the boxing ring. Usually a boxing match involves two people, kind of seeing that as two of cups, and it also requires you to have an excellent reflex. It's like you're prepared for anything. Like you can't just be wandering over here or paying attention to what your neighbor's doing, because then you just get hit in the face. So there's that. Something about needing a reflex, something about needing to be aware. So into the boxing ring. Boxing is literally just fighting, but with rules. You're timed. You can't break the rules. If there are rules in boxing, I'm not sure. You can quit. I believe that's called tapping out. But real fighting has no barriers. You're not in the ring. You're not in the square. I'm hearing square up, as in that reference to another word for fighting. It's like the overall art theme here is picking your battles, needing to fight, or go head to head the right way, or the smart way. Because this isn't just fighting with no barriers. Literally, like, it's not a boxing ring. But this is fighting with rules, setbacks. It's like there's things you can do and things you probably shouldn't do or hold back on. It's kind of like not giving someone a reaction when they want it. Choose your battles, pick your battles. Exactly. So something will be different or call for something different to deal with regular conflict. And I also heard playing your cards right, despite there being another word, another way to phrase this that I can't quite like put together. It's just like fighting a different way or taking a different route that will be beneficial to you. And I was also had emphasis on normal fights leave more room for you to get hurt, killed, and sometimes no one's around to see it. But with boxing matches, it is. Ooh, I'm seeing that symbolizes bluff or something being all for show. Perhaps someone is not as tough as they appear to be. This is interesting. You could potentially witness a fight, and for some reason it's associated with entertainment, but mostly I'm seeing this as prestigious fighting. Like, you ain't gotta fight if you play by the rules or play your cards right. It's like fighting, but no one gets hurt, or you don't get hurt. You don't put all of your energy into something that doesn't matter. You don't stress yourself out. I'm even hearing choose it wisely, don't give them a show. My drawing even looks like someone flexing their arm, but it also looks like a boxing glove on the other end. So I'm kind of seeing this, I was getting the Two of Cups, fights involve two people. I'm kind of seeing one person is the flexor. It's like showing off their strength, or it's like they need a show, they need people behind them to feel like tough, to feel like they're strong. But then I'm seeing it as like one is actually about that life. It's like two, it's like in reverse, flex, and then there's the glove. It looks like two in reverse or two together. Okay. Let's see. I kept getting this scenario too of like Two of Cups. This involves two people. It's like usually a fair fight or a fair advantage when there's rules applied or when it's a game, because it's not one where it's like they're actually trying to like get at each other. It's not nothing personal. It's just all like business. So I'm kind of seeing it as that. It's like just an acquaintance, just someone you're working with. It's no personal attachment. And I was seeing the Three of Cups as like support. Everyone cheering it on, like the audience for each side. It's like everyone always usually has that support system, or people that might fight their battles for them in a way. Fight their battles like behind the scenes. You know, like kind of like how people do with sports teams. It's like, oh my god, Eagles are amazing, Cowboys suck. It's just like that. Everyone has that thing they root for. Even though that's not maybe actual fighting. Let's see. Just gonna lay the cards out first. I already know what I'm seeing. Ooh. And then we have Nine of Cups. I'm gonna move this down. That's better. So right off the bat, it's actually like very humorous the way this is coming about. I'm seeing the Eight of Swords as someone cowering in fear, kind of like when they're confronted. It's kind of like talking about fighting, or it's like that boastful, like showing off one's strength. It's like they needed a show, they needed an audience, or they like to play up and talk like they're tough. It's like talking the talk but not walking the walk. That's what this is. But then as soon as things get for real, as in like real fights versus fake fights, you could even consider that like PR fights, because like there are fake fights or things are just acting or in movies. But I'm saying this is how one reacts when it's for real. It's not just for show. It's not just for talk. It's like, this is the real deal. This isn't a dream. This isn't speaking in theory. It's like something is actually going to happen for real. Or maybe you want things to unfold this way. It's kind of like confrontation, how one acts when they're confronted. Maybe after talking a certain way, or by perceiving themselves, portraying themselves a certain way. And I was seeing this as tapping out, like quitting. 10 of Swords, 10 is end, and then this is someone usually kind of seeing this as like the envisionment of someone that gets knocked out cold. Like someone only lays down like this when they get knocked out, when they're unconscious, or when they just give up. I kind of see that as just giving up, tapping out. Putting it like your hand down, isn't that how they do it? It's just like game over. Or like this round is finished. I feel like this is somewhat of a lesson too. It's like nobody likes confrontation, but they do like doing things like indirectly. So I feel like there's definitely something here about you confronting someone. It's like fighting your battles wisely, confronting the issue, but in such a mature way, where it's kind of like they have no choice but to back out. It's like if you're real about it, or you stand on what you say, it'll follow through. But if it doesn't, then it was just bluff. I kind of see this too as a facade. Or you could even consider this as something to hide, like a very gentle interior. Some people are very confrontational in the bad way, where it's kind of bluff, you know, like needing an audience, needing to, like, people think they're about that life because deep down they're scared. Or deep down, like, they can't fight their own battles. Like, there's uncertainty here. Deep down, they don't know what to do. I'm hearing picking your battles again. It's like picking your battles. And we've been seeing this is going to allude to something that is already literally past. It's like, that's what's going to change your mind about it. It's like, this is in my past. Like, this isn't even affecting me in the present. So there's no reason I need to entertain this person or get involved with this. It's because, like, I'm pulling this. It's like I'm pulling someone into the ring when they're not even supposed to be here. We're thinking picking your battles as in, like, beware. It's like, don't set yourself up for something. Don't give people what they want. Some people do like that conflict, but not until it gets serious. And it's like, never mind, back out, tap out. I don't want to participate in this. I thought it was a fake fight. I'm gonna get an oracle card. On the back of the deck, we have storm warning. I'm kind of saying this as, it reminds me of a bully and maybe a victim. And it usually takes that one time the person asserts themselves or sticks up for themselves to get the other person to back off. It's like something is a warning. I won't say it again. I won't repeat it again. But it's like that very thing will make them uncomfortable. It's like, it will be like the judgment or like the measure of strength if it's really there. So I'm saying that's what you need to do, Sagittarius. We've been seeing this too as like not choosing a side, or like not making a decision, not initiating something, letting the other initiate it, but it never happens. It's like it ends before it can even happen. Then this came out. We have patience, time. Kind of seeing that as time heals all wounds, just like letting something blow over. 6 + 1 is 7. I'm kind of seeing that 7 of Pentacles are like waiting it out, being patient. Have you been seeing that as like waiting it out? You know how you have to like give yourself a timeout or like do like breathing exercises when you're angry or anxious? This is the same thing. It's like wait for that emotion to blow over before you make any like permanent or rash decisions in regards to this person or this situation. It's like, do things with a clear mind, and then that's how you will fight with rules or play your cards correctly. Literally, we're using cards. Kind of seeing that, like, let time pass and look at it differently. Or let time pass and see if someone's still about that life. Kind of seeing this too as like really strong, because it's like this is your chance to prove or showcase. It's like that you're not the same person that you used to be. The moon can also be fear. It's like there's no anxiety, no fear here. Because true strength doesn't have to boast. It doesn't need people seeing them fight. It's like everything happens behind the scenes when no one's watching. It's like the most intense fights with like the most emotion involved are the ones with no barriers. There's a difference, like I said, between a boxing ring and a fight that's like one-on-one. It's like, how do you act when no one's around? Kind of reminds me too of how people like Karens think they can go into these establishments when they know these people can't go anywhere, and when they know they're on the clock and they have to be nice. That's when they choose to like unleash or project on these innocent employees, because they know they're not gonna get their ass beat. I mean, sometimes it happens, but a lot of people choose times like that where everyone's around, and it's like, either they need that attention, they need that support, like, oh my god, look what I'm doing, no one's gonna stop me. But they would not be caught dead doing that to the same person that's off the clock, or that has to abide by rules, that has to smile, that has to put on their own kind of mask. Does that make sense? So it's like, which is it? It's kind of like trying to start something knowing it can't go back. Have a man holding a coin. And we have all tied up. All tied up. Frozen with fear. That same Karen that goes into these establishments sees the same person later, and they're like, okay, what do you want to do? Screams and runs away. Probably. It's the same thing. I've been seeing this as like someone who's very calm but very scary or very intimidating. It's like, this looks like it would make anyone weak at the knees. Kind of seeing this Nine of Cups as like, my job is done. I didn't even have to do that much. Just gonna wait around and see if something is for real. It's like, this isn't a show, this is real life. Okay, Sagittarius. That's the end of this art channeled message. I hope you understood it, even though it was a little all over the place, even though like maybe it took a while to get to the point. I really like this. I feel like there's a lot here about literally picking and choosing your battles, seeing if someone's really about that life. It's like there's something about real strength and maybe flexing strength. And even if two people do have like strength, or maybe it's like two people with advantages, equal bodies, muscular bodies, people that work out, people that are two like MMA fighters, there's still that exaggeration for the public, for their fans, for all that, even though they're actually fighting. Does that make sense? So it's like, that's how I'm seeing this when applied to your life. Is it tap out, or is it ding ding next round? Kind of saying this 3 rounds. Okay, guys. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius, I just finished your message, and this always usually happens for me where I get unexpected, I don't want to say downloads because I feel like that word's so overused. It's more of like a conclusion, or things that I feel like I need to like wrap up, or a summary. So I compared this energy to like kind of like 2 of Cups, 2 people. It's usually between 2 people, like when it's a fair fight, kind of like in boxing matches. There's rules, it's just clear cut, back and forth. It's usually kind of like a deal or working a job. But then I was seeing the 3 of Cups as how people go like toe to toe for the people they admire. Like these celebrities have like stands and groups, like, or like overkill fans that are always like speaking on their behalf. But in their real world or behind the scenes, like when with real fights that occur, the moon card, no one's around. What do you do when like you don't have someone to agree with and enable you, even when you're wrong? Because like there's some really toxic people out there that still have fans, or still have people like going toe to toe for them, even when they didn't really even ask them to, or even when they don't really like deserve that support maybe. So like that's how I'm seeing this as well. There's definitely a clear difference between it's like that bluff, like I said, and like when things are for real, for real. It's like no support, no Three of Cups, no people cheering you on, no people making you feel like important, even when you're wrong. It's like when you don't have that, it's like what do you do? That's what true strength is, and that's also what accountability is. It's truly something to behold. It's like a life lesson in a way. Anyways, that's the end of your reading for real, for real. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I would really, really, really appreciate it. And yeah, it's like you got your people in the background, you got all this, but it's like those that stand alone, those that can fight like maybe their own battles, those that don't need people to like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, they didn't mean to do that. It's like there's a reason they act that way. You have it all wrong. It's not like that. Kind of reminds me how people have been dealing with this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, even though I'm sick of hearing about it. It's kind of like treating it like it's Freddy versus Jason or Team Jacob, Team Edward, when it's really, what? Okay, guys. Bye.